Hi everybody. So we're here today and I'm going to be doing a little bit a different class than what I would normally teach at the Y. So because of the situation we're all in, I think we could all use a little stress relief type yoga. So this practice today is going to be very slow moving, focusing on slowing down our body, slowing down our breath, and slowing down our mind. A great practice to do first thing when you wake up in the morning or right before you go to bed, when maybe you have a little quiet time in your house. So before I get started, I actually want to show a breathing technique because I will be doing it on your mat, but I'll be a little further away and sometimes it can be hard to see. So you can take two of your fingers. I see sometimes people use these two fingers, sometimes these. I've seen it done several ways. These are the two that I use, but feel free to use whichever fingers you like. So one nostril breathing, holding it on one side, inhaling in, closing the other, opening, exhale out. So we will be practicing that breath during some point in the practice today. All I have is a mat and I do have a block. You don't have to use a block, but I always like to have that as an option in case people would like to use it. So if you have a hard time slowing down your mind, and sometimes in a slow practice, I think it's easy for your mind to wander and start thinking about other things. If that's something that happens to you, really focus on maybe counting the seconds of your breath. So taking that inhale, 1, 2, 3, exhale out, 1, 2, 3, or maybe envision the breath traveling from the nose to a certain point in the body and then back out. Something where you can stay in your body and your breath and focus on that versus maybe things that are going on outside of the room. So very slow pace today. Even if this isn't something you would do normally, I think it's something that we all kind of need right now. And so maybe give it a try if it's not something you would do in your normal practice during the week. So we're going to start seated on our mats. I'm gonna come back and I'm just gonna sit very easy in a crisscross space. I'm gonna lower the shoulders, straighten the back, take the crown of the head towards the ceiling, and then start to open my palms towards the front. Maybe gently closing my eyes. And just starting to notice my breath. Not changing anything about it. Just kind of notice, am I coming in at a little bit of a rapid pace or has it already slowed? Maybe noticing a dry or moist sensation in the throat and nose area. Starting to take one hand onto the heart and one hand onto the belly. And continuing to breathe and just noticing how with each breath, how the body moves. How the chest rises up and down. How the belly naturally opens and closes with each breath. Maybe taking a moment of gratitude for the breath, for the body, and how it carries you through each day. Couple more breaths in this position. And then beginning to open up the hands once again towards the front. Open up the eyes, taking the gaze upward. Lowering the shoulders, elevating the chin slightly. Taking your next inhale in through the nose. Exhale with an SH sound. Inhale in. Exhale. Inhale in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time, inhaling in. Exhale. Closing the mouth and trying to take the inhales and exhales just out of the nose. Starting to roll the head in half circles, inhaling in one direction, looking towards the shoulder. Exhaling as you roll the head into the opposite direction. Continuing that at your own flow, trying to connect your breath to the movement of the head. One more time, inhaling into one direction. Exhale as you come into the opposite direction. Taking the chin back towards center. Taking one hand over to the outside of the opposite knee and the other hand right behind the back. With your next inhale, take your chin towards the front shoulder. Exhale as the chin comes back towards the other shoulder. Being gentle with yourself, flowing at your own pace and doing what feels good to you. One more time, taking that chin towards the back shoulder. And then releasing the leg out to the side. Flexing that foot from the outside and taking the other foot into the inner thigh. Reaching the same arm that the leg is out towards that knee. Other arm comes overhead. Take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, side lean. Keeping that arm above the ear. Reaching with those fingertips towards the opposite wall. Feeling the body lengthen. Gently rising up, and then shifting the body, turning to face the side. The chest looks towards the knee. We're going to come down slightly. You might be here. You might come down further, maybe even to the ankle. You could even take that block out in front of the knee. Place weight there, taking the head down. A couple more deep breaths here. Slowly with your next breath, start to rise up. If you're using that block, taking it out to the side. And beginning to twist in that opposite direction. Opposite hand to knee, looking to the side. Couple more breaths in this position. And then making your way back to the front with the upper body. Taking the bottoms of the feet, placing them together in butterfly position. You might hold out here towards the ankles, or you might be able to bring the hands underneath. The back is tall, crown of the head towards the ceiling, shoulders down. Feeling the hips open. With your next exhale, kind of envision the hips opening a little more as you rise up with the chest. Maybe stay here, maybe slightly bend into that butterfly, bringing the elbows towards those knees. Every movement like an act of self-love. Focusing on your breath, focusing on the position and flow of your body. Things that you can control. Starting to rise up with the back, and once again, sitting cross-legged to the front. Hands coming to the side of your mat, and just let a gentle sway come there from side to side. easy with your body. No wrong or right way to do it. A couple more times, swaying side to side. Sitting up tall, and now taking that opposite arm to the outside of the knee, taking the other hand behind, twisting to the side. Starting to connect the movement of your head with the flow of your breath. Your next inhale, take the chin, slightly look over the shoulder. And as you exhale, take the chin into that opposite direction. Continuing that flow at your own pace of breath. One more time, taking that chin towards the front. And then with your next breath, taking that chin over the opposite shoulder. Taking that upper body back towards the front, extending now that left leg, flexing the foot, taking that other foot and placing it into the inner thigh. The foot that's extended, take that arm out, reaching overhead and side lean. Keeping that arm above the ear. Feeling the side body open up from this span here. Remember, while in these positions and these holds, focusing on breath, counting on breath, envisioning the breath maybe coming to a certain point like the belly or the heel of the foot, and then back up. Slowly rising up, and then turning the chest to face the knee. You may come in this position with a slight lean, flexing the foot that's out. You may come a little further. You can also take that block and place it to the front of the knee. Maybe taking it down with the head looking forward or the head towards the block. A couple more breaths in this position. Slowly rising up, placing that block off your mat if you're using a block, and then start to twist to the opposite side. A couple more breaths in this position. And then turning to face the side on all fours. Taking those knees right below the hips, hands right below the shoulders. Finding that neutral place, maybe rocking the hips from right to left. And then maybe starting to coordinate the head, where you inhale in one direction, look over at the hip. Exhale in the opposite direction, looking at the other hip. And just continue that at your own pace. Not feeling rushed. And maybe even enjoying the slow pace that your body is moving. Couple more times, shifting the weight of the hips from right to left. And then finding that neutral place on all fours. Rooting into that left arm as the opposite arm rises and opens up. Exhale as the arm comes down. And then opening up to that opposite place. Continuing that flow. Rising up with the arm in front, and this time when you take the arm under, coming all the way down with that shoulder, reaching forward with the opposite arm, and then holding on to that shoulder blade. Take a couple more breaths here at your own pace. And then start to draw that arm in, push up into the weight. And then back onto those hands, all fours. Then rising up with that back arm, reaching up. And as you exhale, thread the needle under, drop down to the shoulder. Reach forward with the arm and maybe taking the back of that shoulder blade. Couple more breaths here. And then starting to rise up onto all fours. We're going to make our way down onto our forearms. And then we're going to take that outside knee and just taking that knee and opening up the hip. And drawing a big circle with that knee. Maybe a couple in that other direction, so that after you've gone one direction for a while, maybe take that knee and circle in the opposite direction. Releasing that knee to the floor. Taking the knees wide, coming in wide child's pose, taking the hands to a prayer position and dropping behind the head. With your next inhale, rise back up to the forearms. Taking now that back knee and drawing circles, opening up. Drawing that circle with your knee, coming back. And then maybe coming in that opposite direction. A couple more times, releasing the knee, and this time reaching forward with the hands and coming back in that wide child's pose. One more deep inhale in, and then start to rise up onto your mats into all fours. Curling under the toes, and then preparing, pushing back into that downward facing dog, pushing the heels down. Ears between the arms. Take it, inhale in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. Deep inhale in through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth, open mouth. Starting to walk the dog slightly from your right heel to your left heel. Pushing down into those heels and then just swaying the hips side to side. One at a time, those feet walking with the heel pushed down up towards the hands, taking your time. Taking the hands down towards the floor, shake your head yes and no. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold down towards your mat. Inhale, bend into the knees, rise up with the hands. Exhale to heart center. Turning and facing me out into wide mountain pose. Spread the fingers apart, drop the weight in your shoulders. Inhale in. Exhale out. Inhale in. Exhale out. Starting to rock the body side to side. This is going to start to get a little bit larger with the arms. I want you to envision that you have an oversized coat and you're kind of flapping the sleeves from side to side like a child would. Letting the body twist, even hitting the arms against the body as you come around. Deep breaths in. I'm just feeling very childlike, twisting from side to side, keeping those heels into the ground and letting that body twist and the arms float from side to side, hitting the body. Couple more breaths here. And then starting to slow down that rock. Coming back to that mountain pose. With your next inhale, rise up, interlace the fingers up at the top. Drop the weight of the shoulders. Take an inhale, with your exhale, shift the body to one side. With your next inhale, rise up to the top. Exhale in that opposite direction. Your next inhale, rise to the center, and once again, take it in the opposite direction. Inhale, rise up. Exhale in the opposite direction. Inhale, rise up, and this time bringing the hands to heart center. Starting some ocean breaths. Inhale, bring the arms around, deep breath in. Exhale to the center. Inhale, rise up. Exhaling to the center. One more time, inhale, rise up. Exhaling to the center. Feeling the pinky fingers push into each other, the thumb fingers pushing into each other, and your feet rooting into the ground. Take one deep breath in, and then turn that body again to face on that long side of your mat. Inhale, rise up with the arms. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Walk the feet to the back. Coming down to the knees. Coming down into that wide child's pose, so open the knees up wide. Taking a few breaths here in center, dropping the chest towards the floor. Reaching forward with your fingertips. And then start to walk your hands towards the side of your mat and the opposite hand coming on top. And then start to walk the hands to the opposite side of your mat gently. Opposite hand on top into a side lean. Starting to come back to that center position and rise up. Turning the body and coming back to that seated position. Just a gentle seat. Taking one hand to the side. Exhale as you come over. Inhale as you rise up and let that other arm follow, keeping both sit bones on the floor and keeping that arm above the ear. Couple more times, following the flow of your breath, connecting breath and body, clearing your mind. Releasing the hand at the side. Choosing which is the dominant hand that you want to use, and we're going to practice that breathing using one nostril at a time. Pushing into one side, inhale in. Keeping the mouth closed, pushing into the other side and releasing, exhale out. Inhale in. Exhale out. Inhale in. Exhale out, holding the other side. Inhale in. Exhale out. One more time. Inhale in through one side. Releasing the hands at the knees, starting a slow cat-cow, following the flow of your breath. With your inhale, open up the chest and the chin. As you exhale, draw the chin inward, round out the back. And just continue that at your own pace. Just focusing on that chest and back, opening and closing, and your breath following the motion. One more time. Exhaling, coming in with the chin. Inhaling, opening up. Coming back to neutral, taking the hands at the sides and pushing your feet forward. Maybe even having the hands above the knees, just starting to flex and point those feet. Maybe having some gratitude for our feet, right, that do so much for us every day. Keeping that back tall, the crown of the head towards the ceiling. And then starting to draw some circles with those feet. Each breath in and out like a little love note to your body. A little note saying, you've got this. Circle in the other direction with those feet. Turning and facing on your mat, pushing through. Taking those hands underneath the seat. Coming back onto the elbows and maybe taking that fish pose, laying the head back slightly. And then gently starting to allow that back to come down towards your mat. Releasing the hands from under the seat. Bringing those knees to the edge of the mat. And then with each breath, taking the knees to one side with an inhale. And then flowing them over to the other with an exhale. Connecting the flow of your body with your breath. Not feeling rushed. Whatever you're doing is perfect. So whatever your body feels like it needs to do right now, just focusing on that. Moving from side to side with those knees a couple more times. And then taking those knees so they're pointing towards the ceiling and making sure the back of your heels are close enough to be touched with your fingertips. Bending the elbows, pushing the forearms into the mat, the fingertips facing the front. Take a deep inhale in as you exhale, pulling up with the hips. Taking a couple more breaths here. And then then slowly flow down with that lower body. Once the body has reached your mat, pulling in both knees, grabbing maybe onto the shins. And just a little massage, rocking that lower back. Couple more times from side to side. Then releasing the legs out. Taking those arms out to the side, letting the feet fall to the side, palms open towards the ceiling. Doing what's ever comfortable to you here so that when you take that inhale and exhale, you can release tension in the muscles that are holding up the body. So whether that's a pillow under your knees, under your head, you find that space that makes you feel comfortable. And once you have found that space, we're going to spend some moments here in Shavasana just taking some breaths. Starting to move your fingers in and out. Starting to wiggle your toes, straighten and flex them. Starting to awaken the body. When you feel ready, starting to move your body towards a fetal position. Taking your body up back to that seated position. Right, so sometimes in life we are going through things that are more difficult than others, maybe not things that we enjoy as much as others. But maybe take time in your day and find things that you can still enjoy about them. right? And maybe bring some of that calmness and gratitude and find a way to brighten someone else's day today. When people say namaste, they're saying all the light, I can see that in you, all the goodness. And back towards me, you can see all that light and goodness in me. Thank you for sharing your practice. Namaste.